I'm sure you've all seen the video that we're talking about. I'm making this video out of a request from lots of subscribers. Normally on this channel, I do everything from psychology to relationship to neurology, body language, just on and on and on. Today, I want to look at the body language, i.e. the facial expressions and statement analysis of what Diddy did in his 1-minute apology video. But before we get there, the first thing I want to say is this. He's definitely sorry in this video, but my question for you is he sorry because of what he did, or is he sorry that he got caught for what he did? Put your answer in the comment section. All right, guys, the first thing I want to look at before we look at his video is this. Why is it that women sometimes wait long periods of time to come forward? It can be guilt, it can be shame, it can be fear of consequences, it can be fear of not being believed, it can be fear of thinking you are alone. You're alone in this. I'm the only one this is happening to. I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed. And it can be more than that, but those are the basic principles of why people sometimes will remain quiet for a long period of time. Then another question that came in is, why is it that when one woman seems to say something, the floodgates open and other people come forward? One of my colleagues was positing that this may just simply be the bandwagon effect. I don't know if that's the case, but for those of you who may be curious, the bandwagon effect simply means that when everyone else starts doing something, you have a fear of being left out, or the fear of missing out, what's known as FOMO today. And so in a bandwagon situation, some people may say, ooh, she's going to get a payday. I was around a similar situation. I bet you I could be believed because I have a very similar story. And whether it happened or not, I might get a payday. So they would come forward. I'm not saying that's what happened here. Not in the least. Don't think I said that, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm telling you that's what the bandwagon effect would be. What I will tell you is that if these other accusations are authentic, then it's simply a situation like you have been in. Put yourself in this position. Have you ever been to a company party or some type of a party where everyone is standing around and there's not a ton of people, so it's very quiet and no one says anything? No one wants to be the first person to break the silence. And then someone breaks the silence, and what happens next? Everyone starts talking. Again, it's shame, it's guilt, it's embarrassment, it's the fear of consequences, it's the fear of not being believed, on and on and on. This is the same type of thing. So when someone comes forward like this, if the other accusations that are coming forward are true, they may have simply felt that they were alone, and now they know they're not alone. So maybe they could share their story, and that's if it's authentic. I'm not saying one way or the other because I don't know enough yet. Look at some of these headlines. Diddy's former bodyguard claims he's witnessed the rapper be violent towards women 4 or 5 times. This may not be a new occurrence. Sean Diddy Combs accused of sexual abuse by 2 more women. And we don't know if there's going to be any more that come forward. Here are the major allegations against Sean Diddy Combs as Cassie Ventura breaks silence on the attack video. The attack video has been played just about everywhere. You can find it online, so I'm not going to run it here. But now let's look at his body language, his facial expressions, a word analysis of what he's saying and why he's saying it. You're going to be very, very interested because he's obviously been coached here. Yes, when you have lots of money and you're going to make a video in front of millions of people, generally speaking, you will enlist the help of a professional to tell you how to deliver this message to have the least amount of fallout as possible. So I want to tell you ahead of time, before you look at this, it is scripted. I will show you proof of that 3 different times in this video where you can see his eyes reading his next lines. However, he does go off cuff a couple of times to add to what he's supposed to say. So let's get started.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life, but sometimes you got to do that. I was up. I hit rock bottom.
I believe that this is probably authentic because he does feel like he's at rock bottom. But again, is it because he's sad about what he did? Or is it because he's sad about the fallout for what's going to happen to his career and to his money-making ability as well as to his reputation? We don't know. Let's keep going.
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable.
I agree with him here. It is inexcusable. And you can tell that he's disgusted about it because, as he says, my behavior on the video is inexcusable. And when he says it, one side of his face goes up. When one part of your lip goes up and not both, and it's not symmetrical, this is what we call contempt. It's the only facial expression, as you've seen in many of my videos, that is actually one-sided and not symmetrical.
I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
I bet you didn't catch what happened after he said, I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. his eyes immediately moved just barely off the screen. And I don't know if he's reading a teleprompter. I don't know if he's reading a tablet. I don't know if he's reading a computer screen. I don't know if he's reading cue cards, but he's reading. I'm going to blow up his eyes here so you can see his pupils as well as the colored parts of his eyes lock on the script, and he reads like this, and then he comes back to the camera. Watch now. It's what's called a micro movement, and it's very, very smart. Again, I think that he should be having a script because he doesn't want to say anything too crazy and get himself in worse trouble. But he's trying to make this look like it's off the cuff and it's from his heart. And it may be, but it is scripted. Someone has talked to him. This is why he's not looking like this at a cue card or looking like this at a cue card. He's being very careful to make it to where you can't see that he's looking at what to say next. Let's keep going.
I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
He did it down toward the center eye accessing cue. Anytime your eyes go down, in a very general sense, not all the time, but usually when your eyes go down and you go left or right or even to the middle like his did, you are putting yourself in a position where you're trying to reach emotion. If you ever want to make yourself cry, try this. Get in a very serious state of mind, then look down and to the right. And if you're very serious and very solemn, you'll notice that in a few minutes, you're going to start feeling sadness. But watch his eyes again. After he said that, and it does drag you in, he will now look for his next line. See if you catch it. I'll blow up his eyes again. As he reads the next line.
I went and I sought out professional help.
Okay, I had to stop here. When is the last time you heard an accomplished rapper, someone who does slang terms for a living, say, I went and I sought help? When you say things that are not part of your vocabulary, at least not part of your normal vocabulary, it usually, not always, but usually means someone's coached you to say something that is very captivatingly important to make your point to the audience you're speaking to.
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace.
This is probably the pinnacle of this video. Look at his eyes. This is very intentional. Whenever you appeal to something in an argument, you need to appeal to a higher authority than yourself. This is what gives your argument weight. So if you're looking for a way to win an argument, as long as everyone's playing by the same rules, you do this. In psychology, what he's doing here is called taking holy ground. If you ask God for forgiveness, what higher authority is there? There is none.
I'm so sorry.
This is something subliminal on his part and then intentional. First, he takes his eyes from looking up to looking down away from the camera and shaking his head as though he's disgusted with himself. Watch how he shakes his head from side to side, and now he shakes it up and down. Why does he do this? Because there's several thoughts going on in his head. He wants to look disgusted, but whenever you shake your head like this in a conversation, you're trying to get the person listening to agree with you. After he shakes his head in disgust, he goes like this to get you to agree with him, and he says, I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
And watch his eyes for the last time as he now fetches the next line of words from his cue cards.
But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
This is quite believable. He said he's trying to be a better man every day. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't know his lifestyle. I only know what everyone else knows from the news. But I can tell you this. He says he's truly sorry. And I believe him. I believe he is truly sorry. But the question remains, as I asked at the beginning of the video, is he truly sorry because of his behavior? Because all those years ago he did that to this woman? Or is he sorry that he got caught? Either way, he is sorry. He is very remorseful. But why? What's the purpose? I'm not making fun and I'm not making light of it. I'm asking a serious question. And if you know the answer, put it in the comment section. And if you're still here, do me a favor, click on one of these other videos. I'll be back very soon with more psychology and relationship videos. See you then.